$20, that's still my price target for Manta during this bull run. And even though nothing I say is financial advice nor guarantee, some people out there, they may think, oh, how's that even possible? Isn't Manta caca? Isn't it trash? No, I disagree because, first of all, if we take a look at the Manta network, it's so unique. It's so amazing. And I think that it really does fit in a very unique niche. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Because, for instance, the Manta network actually has two networks. And the first is something called Manta Pacific. Now, this right here is the modular layer 2 ecosystem on Ethereum for Ethereum virtual machine native ZK applications. Now, this may sound kind of complicated. People are like, whoa, what do you mean by this? But let me show you what I'm talking about. Because first of all, I did mention how there's a ZK aspect to it. Now, ZK stands for zero knowledge. Now, zero knowledge technology, the benefit of that is, for instance, enhanced scalability and as well as privacy. So yeah, that's a great touch. Now, with that being said, some people out there, they may have heard me mention that it's a layer 2 and they're like, oh man, do we really need a layer 2? Now, here's the thing. First of all, I want to explain this in two parts. The first part is the function of a layer 2. Now, a layer 2 in this case, what it does is that it allows Ethereum to be enjoyed while at the same time not having to deal with a lot of the nonsense, like the sky-high gas fees, the scalability issues, arguably, right? So I think these are drawbacks that people don't really like. Of course, Ethereum does have a very amazing ecosystem. So what better way to enjoy Ethereum, take advantage of that ecosystem, quite essentially, but at the same time, not have to deal with that nonsense? That's through an Ethereum layer 2. Now, the second aspect is people saying that, we don't really need a layer 2. There's too many out there. Well, I disagree because this one, again, it has a ZK aspect to it, zero knowledge. So that's kind of the advantage I think it has because a lot of layer 2s out there, pretty much sometimes it just feels like another carbon copy. It's like, all right, cool. It's another layer 2. But this one has a unique aspect, so I don't think it's bad at all. Now, the second network is something called Manta Atlantic. Now, this allegedly, by the way, is the fastest ZK, again, zero knowledge, layer 1 chain on Polkadot. So yeah, I think this is very impressive because if you take a look at Polkadot, it's a very unique project. Quite simply, it's focused on connecting blockchains together. And of course, there's a need for that. You take a look at how there's a lot of blockchains out there. They often lack the ability to freely interact with one another, meaning that, they often lack interoperability. And Polkadot, again, is focused on connecting blockchains together, focused on interoperability. So again, having allegedly the fastest ZK layer 1 chain on Polkadot, man, this is very impressive. Manta Atlantic, I think it's pretty much the real deal. And also, let's not forget, the Manta network is doing very well overall. There's over 200 projects on it, which I think is very impressive. Has a total value lock that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So when I take a look at it, is this such a bad project like what a lot of people like to say? No, I think it's very amazing. And the more I take a look at it, the more I understand that, wow, this is so special. And on its ecosystem, by the way, there's projects related to DeFi, aka decentralized finance, gaming, and as well as the metaverse. So in terms of its diversity, I think it's there. And if you think about it, Manta, it doesn't end there because it even has quite essentially a canary network, and that's called the Calamari network. Now, you may be wondering, okay, what is this? The way I take a look at it is that it's pretty much the support system to Manta, because if we take a look at an example of a canary network, it's like, for instance, Moonriver and Moonbeam. You take a look at how Moonriver, it's the canary network to Moonbeam. So what this means is that new code will usually ship over to Moonriver first, and then after it's been tested and verified under real economic conditions, it will then be usually shipped over to Moonbeam. But a project, it doesn't have to move on to Moonbeam later on if it doesn't want to. But again, it's a testing ground to quite essentially, have the main course. It's kind of like the appetizer, the support system. Now, this is also very similar because you take a look at how Kusama, that's a canary network to Polkadot. And again, we take a look at how, when it comes to Manta Atlantic, allegedly the fastest ZK layer 1 chain on Polkadot. So you get the similarities there. I think a canary network is actually very amazing, but in this case, I'm more so bullish on the Manta network, even though I have nothing against the Calamari network. But again, I think you get my point. So I think when it comes to Manta overall, it pretty much ticks the boxes. Now, is $20 crazy? No, because if it were to do that, right, if it were to go to that price, considering its current circulating supply, market cap would be around $7.5 billion. Not too bad. I mean, it's not crazy at all if you really think about it. We've seen BNB reach over 100 billion, Doge reached over 80 billion, SHIB reached around 40 billion. And come on, Shiba Inu, This isn't insane at all. I'm not saying that Manta is going to be the next biggest project out there. It doesn't need to because, again, around a $7.5 billion market cap, first of all, I don't think it's crazy, and I don't think it's unrealistic. And for the people out there that say, oh, wow, that's such a low target, no, I disagree. That's actually over 25x from here, so it's not bad. And also, you got to think about this. Over 600 million crypto owners as we speak, more than ever before in history. You take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the number of institutional investors. Man, these all could really well contribute to Bitcoin reaching great heights, reaching 100,000, 150,000 during this bull run. That wouldn't be crazy at all. And I think if Bitcoin were to do that, naturally, altcoins are going to go along with the ride and hypothetically do very well. I think Manta, at that point, could hypothetically go to the price of $20. Some people out there, though, they're under this misconception that the peak of the bull run should have happened like a month ago, 2 months ago, but that's usually not how it works. Typically, altcoins peak anywhere between a year and a half to half a year after a Bitcoin halving event. The Bitcoin halving event happened back in April. So if we do some basic math, that's either October this year to October next year, still some time there. If it happens earlier, great. Happens later, fine, because it's more time for me to accumulate. So I really don't mind either way. I'm still going to continue to dollar cost average, just acquiring, holding and just waiting. That's it. That's the only thing I can control as of right now, being consistent, not giving up, not quitting. I can't just demand the price of Manta to pump like today and say that, yeah, it's going to go to $20 at this exact minute. I don't have a magic wand to do that. It's pretty much impossible. Or should I say impossible, literally. But again, the only thing I can control is just dollar cost averaging, acquiring, and just not giving up and just focusing on the fundamentals, which I'm doing. So again, not giving up. And I still believe that Manta during this bull run could hypothetically go to the price of $20. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Mali the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.